First thing is aging actually starts when we're about 25. This might be a little bit depressing for people to find out, but that's okay. There's worse things. But it actually starts at about age 25. And this is important to know because now we can monitor what changes are occurring in the cell. So relative to skin care, that age 25 is important because that's when the fibroblasts start to decline in their ability to produce collagen. So collagen, of course, is the most abundant protein in the body. We normally think of it, having lived in California for such a long period of time in La Jolla, you mentioned the word collagen, and it's associated with facelifts and lip injections and those kinds of things. But of course, collagen plays a much more important role in the body than just simply cosmetic. Collagen is what makes up the cytoskeleton of the cell. Literally provides the framework for our cell and the health of the cell. So not only does our skin suffer as we age because of a decrease in collagen production, but also the overall health and vitality of the cells. So if we're really going to address the appearance of the skin, we have to be able to address the health of the skin as well. Now we get into the good thing about this is that it's known why we age to a great degree. And now we have tools that can help protect the health of the skin, both from the inside out and the outside in. And that's the approach that we've taken with Alavida. Let's address the problem from both angles. In other words, you can think of genes as being switches that turn on and off. And as we age, the genes go to a more unhealthy state. And if we want to reverse this cycle, we have to change the genetic expression and flip them back to a more youthful state. All right, so that's part of age reversal research. So it's going to be a combination of what is a person's diet. Is a diet going to be helping or hurting that person? We can be consuming things that we don't even know we have an allergic response to, as why we often promote food allergy tests. So people can know, well, is my diet hurting me or helping me? There's some obvious things that aren't so good for us, right? We should stay away from foods that are smoked and fried and should try to avoid those kind of things. There's an onslaught of environmental toxins. I had seen Brenda Watson give a presentation, and she was citing a study that 100% of the population has environmental toxins in their body, and the average number of toxins is 97. And that was on a clinical study with over 400 people. So what this means is that whether or not we're getting those toxins in from the air we breathe, from food supply, from the water we drink, or other things, these toxins are getting into our body. So we can't be complacent. We have to have a daily strategy of protecting our body through our diet, through hydration. Regular exercise is critically important. Proper amount of sleep, of course, to regenerate and rejuvenate the body, and supplement and technology where needed. So the bad news is that this problem is all around us. It affects all of us. But the good news is that there are solutions to protect us and improve the health of the skin. Okay, well, I'm wearing the patches. Maybe I'm not drinking as much water as I should, but I'm doing that. Maybe I'm taking a multivitamin, and so I can slip in some other areas. And this is not the correct way to think about it. If we were going to build up a building, and someone showed up on the building site without the steel girders and without the cement to hold everything together, but maybe had some wood and nails, that's not going to be a very strong building, right? You probably couldn't even build it. And the same is true with our body. We shouldn't expect that our body can make beautiful, healthy skin without adequate amounts of protein, adequate amounts of essential fatty acids, and all the vitamins and minerals that we need. So it's important that we take a holistic approach and we really self-examine and take a critical look This can often be hard for people to face, but it's necessary. Take a critical look at the diet and say, where am I doing things really well, and where are some areas that I could improve? Sugar, not to beat a dead horse about this, but we know how damaging sugar is, right? We often think about it as, okay, we're going to consume too much sugar, and this could lead to hypoglycemia and then, diabetes. So it's better to have a diet lower in sugar. But what we don't think about is how sugar can have an adverse effect on the health and the appearance of the skin. So this is a process known as glycation. And the bad news is that excessive levels of sugar will damage the collagen matrix and can contribute to the process of creating wrinkles. The good news is that there are nutrients like glutathione and carnosine and copper peptide, which are powerful anti-glycation nutrients. Carnosine might be the most powerful naturally occurring nutrient ever discovered to block the process where excessive levels of sugar can damage the skin. So again, it's really about blood sugar control. There's a number of nutrients that will help reduce our risk for diabetes and also at the same time improve the health of the skin. So for example, glutathione is going to be one of those nutrients. Everybody should be on a glutathione supplement. All right, I'm going to make a claim here, and I'm going to not associate this with our patch. So I'm not making a claim about the patch. It was discovered that N-acetylcysteine, or NAC, which is a precursor that elevates glutathione, is critical to our immune function. Because it elevates glutathione, will also help to manage blood sugar. So benefit you get from elevating glutathione with NAC is that it's going to balance your blood sugar, help to reduce your risk of diabetes and hypoglycemia, and also elevate the antioxidant that's protecting the health of the skin and just about everything else in the body. Another nutrient that will do that is alpha lipoic acid. And for those people that are suffering with type 1 or type 2 diabetes, if they take 300 milligrams of controlled release alpha lipoic acid daily, 4 times per day, they can reduce their, number one, if they're type 2 diabetic, they will dramatically reduce their blood sugar levels. But if they're a type 1 diabetic, they can reduce, clinical studies show they can reduce their insulin needs by over 60%. So that's really life-changing. The other benefit, of course, relative to our conversation today is that alpha lipoic acid, in addition to managing blood sugar, is great for the skin, and why you see alpha lipoic acid in some skincare formulas. But I think it's better to take it internally. If you're not a diabetic, then once a day is fine. The overall health and vitality of the skin. Then we'll be thinking about oxidative and inflammatory stress. So first thing that we should realize is that all the biochemistry in the body is there for a reason. And so oxidative stress is healthy when the cell is using that for, let's say, controlling bacteria, viruses. We could be injured, and oxidative stress is absolutely critical at helping us to reduce risk of infection. Inflammatory stress can help to tear down diseased tissue or old tissue and make room for new healthy tissue. So first thing to understand is that when we talk about oxidative and inflammatory stress, it's a natural process and it's there for a reason, and we need it. The problem occurs is that when we go to a state where this stress becomes chronic and now accumulates and can damage healthy tissue, that's when it can become damaging. So products like Alavida and Eon can do a wonderful job at helping to reduce the impact on this type of stress on the body, which is ultimately going to support the health of the skin. So the idea here is that if we just look at skincare as a cosmetic, if we just look at skincare as we're going to apply these ingredients, preferably natural ingredients, to our skin and we want to improve the health of the skin from the outside or protect it, that's fine. If we're working with natural ingredients that can protect the skin from, let's say, excessive UV light or environmental toxins, that's totally fine. But that's not going to go as far as we need to really improve the health of the skin, right? So how do we do that? Well, again, we build up our foundation. We have a clean diet, drink lots of water, take supplements where necessary, get proper rest, exercise. And then when we use a technology like the patches for managing oxidative and inflammatory stress, now the skin is in an environment where it's not being damaged, so it can thrive. And that's really the goal. Remove this stress so the skin can do what it's designed to do. Interest here in our research and as a company is we're really concerned about the health and the vitality of an individual, and even right down to the skin. When we're approaching cosmetics, we want to come back to this philosophy of it's about the health and vitality of the skin. So what can we do to improve health and vitality? We don't want to just simply cover up lines and wrinkles. What it is that we want to do is get at the root cause and try to prevent them from occurring, and also help to diminish the appearance of the lines and wrinkles. Because if we can do that, that means the health of the body is improving, not just the health of the skin. And that really should be what it's all about. And so the patches are light therapy devices. They stimulate the skin with very, very low levels of light. So there's nothing in the patch that's going inside the body. It's not a smoker's patch or a dieter's patch. Instead, the patches contain materials that will reflect very low levels of light that stimulate the skin. This is a process called photobiomodulation. But the way most of us are familiar with it is that you go out in the sun and sunlight will elevate your levels of vitamin D, right? And we need our vitamin D to protect us. But anyway, we turn on vitamin D production in the body with light. It's that process. So the patches do something similar. They stimulate the skin with light and they turn on a biochemical process. In the case of X39, we're elevating copper peptide to activate the stem cells. In the case of the glutathione patch, we're turning on production of glutathione to support our overall health and vitality. And in the case of Alavida, it's very interesting. Alavida will elevate a peptide in the pineal gland called epithalamine. And epithalamine was discovered by a Dr. Kavinsin in Russia. And he found that this peptide was associated with longevity and immune health. And one of the things we found in our research is that the Alavida patch reduces oxidative stress. As a matter of fact, let me see. I want to show you an image here that I think everyone will find of interest. Let me just pull it up real quick.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we did. This is from a presentation that we did back some time ago when we first started to market Alavida. And this is a piece of equipment that we have in our laboratory called the biopulsar. So at our labs, we will test new products, patches, and other things that we develop. So there's other products that are coming to LifeWave other than patches, I should say that. And we use a variety of different techniques to measure the bioelectrical activity of different parts of the body. And what we've done is we've taken the graphs. If you looked at the output, it would look like an EEG. We're measuring 48 different zones in the body at once. And so the traditional graph on this looks like an EEG. So it's difficult to read. So that all of that information gets condensed into a picture so you can easily see the before after. So this reading is from a man that's 62 years old. And ideally what we want to see is this turquoise color here everywhere. When you see these different colors, This is a disruption in the flow of energy through the body. By reading the graphs that are associated with this image, you can tell if the organ is in a hypoactive or hyperactive state, and if the flow of energy is nice and smooth, or if it's erratic. So this would be a person that has some health problems. This is 5 minutes after applying the Alavida patch. What we can see is that there's an extraordinary level of coherence. And this is evidenced by the change in color. This, again, this turquoise color would be considered perfect. When we see these gray areas, that means the reading was unstable, so it just shows as a null. So there's no reading there. These blue areas are showing some activity in the brain, and again, that's totally fine. So when we got down to measuring this, we found the reason why this shift was occurring is because of a reduction in oxidative stress.
Wow.
Now, this is from a woman, 43 years old, and I happen to know that this woman was dealing with a number of very serious health problems at the time, and the biopulsar was able to pick that up. We applied the Alavida patch, and there was a dramatic change within 5 minutes. It doesn't mean that her illnesses and problems were going away. What it meant was that her levels of oxidative stress were dropping, and now bioelectrical energy can flow through the nervous system more easily. And that's going to help to support overall health and wellness. So, this is all to say that the Alavida patch produces some dramatic results, and it will do it very, very quickly.
Wow. I know everyone always wants to know, where do I put the patch and how long do I wear it?
Sure. Well, first thing is we want to encourage people to take really good quality before after photos, because Emily, you know that all the time we're getting in these remarkable testimonials. And the best ones, of course, are when people take the photos in the same type of lighting conditions. So we want to make sure. And it's really cool to see how much your skin improves over a period of time. So that would be the first thing. Before you start using any of these things, take a good before picture, and then let's say at 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, take additional pictures. So we generally see that results will start in about 6 to 8 weeks when we're talking about reduction in lines and wrinkles. So that would be probably a good indicator. Of course, people can start to feel a difference right away. A very popular combination, of course, is X39 during the day and then the Alavida patch in the evening. We have in our instructions a number of places to apply the Alavida patch. If we keep in mind that the patch is designed to stimulate the pineal gland, which is right in the center of the brain, then the nerve endings for that gland are, interestingly enough, right here. And somehow thousands of years people knew that because they talked about this activating the light of the body, which the pineal gland very much is. So applying the Alavida patch right there on your temple, even on the side of the neck, can be okay on the right side. And you apply it before bedtime and then just simply take it off when you wake up in the morning. In terms of the topicals, the way that they're designed is that the day formula is applied after you wash and clean your face in the morning, and then the nighttime product in the evening. One of the things that we found was because of the high vitamin C content of the night cream formula is that it does wonders for relieving sunburn. We just got through summer, and of course, but some people live in tropical climates, but that was something that we discovered quite by accident, that applying the Alavida night cream to a sunburn can provide just about instant relief. So that's another benefit to the product. So
I love that. I've actually heard from some ladies that applying the night cream to create the parts of the skin on the arms or different extremities can actually kind of help to firm up and to just improve the quality of the tone of the skin. Have you seen that in any of the clinical results?
We have, as a matter of fact, and we've certainly gotten testimonials about that. Yeah, and again, it's really going to come down to the natural delivery system, the natural oils that are in the product, and the vitamin C is going to trigger repair of damaged collagen structures, and the milk peptides are going to turn on hyaluronic acid and new collagen production in the cell. So that's why it's going to address, creepy skin. The first thing is, I'm not a cosmetic scientist or a medical doctor. And so I had a very specific goal in creating Alavida, and I wanted to work with someone that was at the top of their field. And so we have a scientist that we work with. His name is Glenn Ryan, and Glenn has done quite a few studies with us over the years on our products. And Glenn had worked at Estee Lauder as a research scientist. So I went to Glenn and I said, "Hey, I need to hire somebody. I've got a concept for a skincare system, but I want to work with a skincare scientist, a cosmetic scientist that's an expert. Can you recommend someone?" He goes, "I know exactly the guy, multiple patent holder, and nobody knows more about skincare than this guy." So we had a telephone conversation. I said, "This is what I want to do with the skincare system." He said, "Well, that's pretty ambitious, but let me see how I can help you out." So we started to get together and throw around some ideas, and eventually he helped us develop this concept. And basically the idea was we wanted to start with a base of algae oil, and algae oil that would be rich in DHA. So DHA is an essential fatty acid. It's an omega-3. It's anti-inflammatory. It's found naturally throughout the body, and it declines with age. So, and it will act as a natural moisturizer. So we knew that a microalgae oil was going to be at the center of this. And then what he did that was really brilliant is he started to complement these the algae oil with other oils and things like rice seed oil, moringa butter, macadamia oil, for the purpose of mimicking the natural profile of oils that are already in the skin. So what that would mean is the product would both not be oily when you apply it, and it would act as a carrier for the ingredients, the actives that we were putting into the skin. And this all had to be natural, and we didn't want to use any type of synthetic ingredients. We then used other products like a fat-soluble vitamin C, milk peptides. And what this is going to do is both protect the skin, turn on production of hyaluronic acid, turn on collagen protein synthesis, and reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles. So what you end up with is a natural product. We didn't include any sulfates or phthalates, nothing that's going to be harmful to the skin. So it's a natural product that is not going to be greasy, but adds natural oils into the skin and ingredients that will help preserve the moisture of the skin, as well as increase collagen production, so that long-term use leads to reduction in lines and wrinkles. So, and that's super important, because when we apply something to the skin, it gets into the body. I'm horrified when I see skincare products with synthetics like silicone. I don't want silicone in my body. Why are they putting it in skincare, right? It's kind of crazy, and other things. So yeah, if you think about it from the point of view that skincare products eventually make it their way into the blood, we should only be putting things on the skin that are natural. So that's something I love. Alavida, I've been using it since the day before we released it, when it was a final product, and I'm never going back to anything else. And so the bottom line is, love others if you want to have healthy skin, right? That'd be a self-motivating purpose, but then love others to make the world a better place.
Hey friends, thanks for watching. I just wanted to remind you to please like and subscribe, so that I know that this is good content that you're interested in, and then I can keep making it. And I didn't really make it, I just put it together. I'm just sharing what David knows about the wonderful patches. So, but if you're liking it, you're getting value, please like, subscribe, share, tap in. And if you'd like to experience the patches for yourself, please look in the description. There's a link there. All right, I'll talk to you soon, friends. Aloha.